Throughout history, there have been individuals whose actions and ideas have shaped the world we live in. From conquerors to inventors, leaders to revolutionaries, these are the 10 greatest people in history. 1. Alexander the Great. Alexander III of Macedon, better known as Alexander the Great, was born in 356 BC in Pella, the ancient capital of Macedonia. He became king at the young age of 20, following the assassination of his father, King Philip II. From the outset, Alexander showed great ambition and military prowess, qualities that would define his reign and legacy. One of Alexander's most remarkable achievements was his military conquests, which led to the creation of one of the largest empires in history. He embarked on a series of campaigns that saw him conquer the Persian Empire, Egypt, and parts of India, effectively uniting these regions under Macedonian rule. His military tactics, characterized by swift and decisive strikes, earned him a reputation as one of history's greatest military commanders. But Alexander was not just a conqueror. He was also a visionary leader who sought to create a unified and culturally diverse empire. He encouraged the blending of Greek and Persian cultures, adopting Persian customs and dress himself. This policy of cultural fusion, known as Hellenization, had a lasting impact on the regions he conquered, spreading Greek culture and ideas far beyond the borders of the Greek city-states. Alexander's empire, however, was short-lived. He died in 323 BC at the age of 32, under mysterious circumstances, leaving behind a legacy that would shape the course of history. His conquests helped spread Greek culture and ideas throughout the known world, laying the foundation for the Hellenistic period that followed his death. Alexander's vision of a unified world would inspire future conquerors and leaders, leaving a lasting impact on the history of civilization. 2. Leonardo da Vinci, born in 1452 in Vinci, Italy, was a true Renaissance man, excelling in a wide range of disciplines including painting, sculpture, architecture, science, anatomy, and engineering. His insatiable curiosity and keen observational skills led him to make groundbreaking discoveries and innovations that continue to influence the world today. In the field of art, Da Vinci is best known for masterpieces such as the Mona Lisa and the Last Supper. His paintings are celebrated for their meticulous attention to detail, subtle use of light and shadow, and realistic depiction of the human form. Da Vinci's innovative techniques, such as sfumato, the blending of colors, revolutionized the art world and laid the foundation for the High Renaissance style. In addition to his artistic achievements, Da Vinci was also a prolific inventor and scientist. He made significant contributions to the fields of anatomy, engineering, and physics, often drawing on his artistic skills to illustrate his scientific observations. His detailed anatomical drawings, for example, are still used by medical students today to study the human body. Da Vinci's notebooks, which contain thousands of pages of sketches, diagrams, and notes, reveal his wide-ranging interests and his unique approach to problem-solving. He conceptualized ideas for inventions such as flying machines, armored vehicles, and hydraulic pumps, many of which were far ahead of their time. Leonardo da Vinci's legacy is one of innovation, creativity, and interdisciplinary thinking. His ability to seamlessly integrate art and science serves as an inspiration to scholars, artists, and inventors alike, reminding us of the power of imagination and the importance of exploring the world with a curious and open mind. 3. William Shakespeare. William Shakespeare, often referred to as the Bard of Avon, was born in 1564 in Stratford-upon-Avon, England. He is widely regarded as the greatest writer in the English language and the world's preeminent dramatist. Shakespeare's works, which include plays, sonnets, and poems, have had a profound impact on literature, theater, and the arts. One of Shakespeare's greatest contributions to English literature is his exploration of human emotion and experience. Through his characters and plots, Shakespeare delved into the complexities of love, jealousy, ambition, and betrayal, capturing the essence of the human condition. His plays are known for their rich language, intricate plots, and unforgettable characters, making them timeless classics that continue to resonate with audiences around the world. Shakespeare's works are also celebrated for their universal themes and enduring relevance. Whether exploring themes of love and romance in Romeo and Juliet, or the nature of power and ambition in Macbeth, Shakespeare's plays speak to the timeless truths of the human experience, transcending the boundaries of time and culture. In addition to his literary achievements, Shakespeare's influence extends to the English language itself. He is credited with coining many words and phrases that are still in use today, enriching the English language and leaving a lasting impact on its vocabulary. Shakespeare's legacy as a playwright, poet, and storyteller is unparalleled. His works continue to be performed, studied, and celebrated around the world, ensuring that the Bard of Avon's influence will endure for generations to come. 4. Abraham Lincoln, born in 1809 in a log cabin in Kentucky, rose to become one of America's greatest presidents. He was elected as the 16th President of the United States in 1860, at a time when the nation was deeply divided over the issue of slavery. Lincoln's leadership during the Civil War and his efforts to preserve the Union and end slavery have solidified his place in history as one of America's most iconic figures. Lincoln's presidency was defined by his unwavering commitment to the principles of freedom and equality. Despite facing immense pressure and criticism, he refused to compromise on the issue of slavery, believing it to be morally wrong. In 1863, he issued the Emancipation Proclamation, which declared that all slaves in Confederate-held territory were to be set free. This marked a significant turning point in the Civil War and in the fight against slavery. Lincoln's leadership during the Civil War was characterized by his calm demeanor, strategic thinking, and ability to unite a divided nation. His speeches, including the Gettysburg Address and his second inaugural address, are considered some of the greatest speeches in American history, emphasizing the ideals of equality, freedom, and democracy. Tragically, Lincoln's life was cut short when he was assassinated by John Wilkes Booth in 1865, just days after the end of the Civil War. His death was a devastating blow to the nation, but his legacy lived on. The 13th Amendment to the United States Constitution, which abolished slavery, was passed shortly after his death, fulfilling one of Lincoln's greatest ambitions. Abraham Lincoln's impact on American history cannot be overstated. His leadership during one of the nation's darkest periods helped to preserve the Union and bring about the end of slavery. His legacy continues to inspire people around the world, reminding us of the enduring values of freedom, equality, and justice. 5. Marie Curie, born Maria Skłodowska in 1867 in Warsaw, Poland, was a pioneering scientist whose groundbreaking work in the field of radioactivity revolutionized our understanding of the natural world. She was the first woman to win a Nobel Prize and remains the only person to have won Nobel Prizes in two different scientific fields, physics and chemistry. Curie's early work focused on the phenomenon of radioactivity, a term she coined to describe the spontaneous emission of radiation from certain elements. Alongside her husband, Pierre Curie, she conducted research that led to the discovery of two new elements, polonium and radium. This work earned her the Nobel Prize in Physics in 1903, making her the first woman to win a Nobel Prize. In the years that followed, Curie continued her research into radioactivity, isolating pure radium and developing techniques for its use in medical treatments. Her work laid the foundation for modern nuclear physics and chemistry, and her discoveries paved the way for advancements in medicine, industry, and technology. Curie's contributions to science were not without personal sacrifice. The prolonged exposure to radiation during her research ultimately led to her death in 1934 from aplastic anemia, a condition caused by radiation exposure. Despite the risks, Curie remained dedicated to her work, believing in the potential of science to improve the world. Marie Curie's legacy is one of extraordinary scientific achievement and perseverance in the face of adversity. Her discoveries have had a lasting impact on our understanding of the natural world and continue to inspire scientists and researchers around the globe. She remains a symbol of determination, intellect, and curiosity, reminding us of the power of science to change the world for the better. 6. Mahatma Gandhi. Mahatma Gandhi, born Mohandas Karamchand Gandhi in 1869 in Porbandar, India, was a key figure in India's struggle for independence from British rule. He is known for his philosophy of non-violent resistance, which he called satyagraha, meaning truth force or soul force. Gandhi's approach to activism was deeply rooted in his beliefs in truth, non-violence, and the power of civil disobedience. He believed that individuals could resist oppression and injustice without resorting to violence, and that by doing so, they could bring about social and political change. One of Gandhi's most famous acts of civil disobedience was the Salt March of 1930, where he and his followers walked 240 miles to the Arabian Sea to protest the British salt monopoly. This peaceful protest drew international attention to the plight of the Indian people under British rule and marked a turning point in India's struggle for independence. Gandhi's influence extended far beyond India. His philosophy of nonviolence inspired civil rights movements around the world, including the American Civil Rights Movement led by Martin Luther King Jr. Gandhi's teachings on nonviolence, tolerance, and social justice continue to inspire activists and leaders today, earning him the title of Mahatma, meaning great soul. Gandhi's legacy is not without controversy, as some criticize his approach to social change and his views on certain issues. However, his impact on the world is undeniable, and his teachings on nonviolence and peaceful resistance remain as relevant today as they were during his lifetime. 7. Nelson Mandela, born in 1918 in the village of Mvezo, South Africa, emerged as one of the most prominent figures in the fight against apartheid, South Africa's system of racial segregation and discrimination. Mandela's leadership and resilience in the face of adversity earned him global admiration and respect, making him a symbol of resistance and reconciliation. Mandela began his political activism as a young man, joining the African National Congress, ANC, in the 1940s. He quickly became a leading voice in the struggle against apartheid, advocating for nonviolent resistance and equal rights for all South Africans. However, as the apartheid government intensified its repression of the black majority, Mandela and others in the ANC began to consider more radical forms of resistance. In 1962, Mandela was arrested and sentenced to life in prison for his involvement in anti-apartheid activities. He spent 27 years in prison, during which time he became a symbol of the struggle against apartheid. Mandela's imprisonment only served to strengthen his resolve and his commitment to the cause of freedom and equality. In 1990, Mandela was released from prison amid growing international pressure and internal unrest in South Africa. He quickly emerged as a leading figure in the negotiations to end apartheid, working with then-President F.W. de Klerk to dismantle the system of racial segregation and pave the way for democratic elections. In 1994, South Africa held its first democratic elections, in which Mandela was elected as the country's first black president. Mandela's presidency was marked by his efforts to heal the divisions of the past and build a new democratic South Africa based on equality and justice for all its citizens. After stepping down as president in 1999, Mandela continued to be a global advocate for peace, reconciliation, and human rights. His legacy as a champion of freedom and equality continues to inspire people around the world, reminding us of the power of forgiveness, reconciliation, and the human spirit. 8. Albert Einstein, born in 1879 in Ulm, Germany, was a theoretical physicist who is widely regarded as the father of modern physics. His work revolutionized our understanding of the universe and laid the foundation for many of the scientific advancements of the 20th century. Einstein's most famous contribution to physics is his theory of relativity, which he first proposed in 1905 in the paper on the electrodynamics of moving bodies. This theory, which includes both special relativity and general relativity, fundamentally changed our understanding of space, time, and gravity. Special relativity, published in 1905, showed that space and time are not separate entities, but are intertwined in a four-dimensional continuum known as spacetime. It also introduced the concept that the laws of physics are the same for all observers, regardless of their relative motion. General relativity, published in 1915, expanded on these ideas and showed that gravity is not a force as Newton had described it, but rather a curvature of spacetime caused by the presence of mass and energy. This theory has been confirmed through numerous experiments and observations and remains the basis for our understanding of gravity today. In addition to his work on relativity, Einstein made many other important contributions to physics, including his explanation of the photoelectric effect, which was instrumental in the development of quantum theory. He also made significant contributions to the development of the atomic bomb, though he later became a vocal advocate for nuclear disarmament. Einstein's work earned him numerous awards and honors, including the Nobel Prize in Physics in 1921. His theories continue to be studied and tested by physicists around the world, and his ideas have had a profound impact on our understanding of the universe. Einstein's legacy as one of the greatest scientists of all time is indisputable, and his work continues to inspire and influence scientific research to this day. 9. Martin Luther King Jr., born in 1929 in Atlanta, Georgia, was a Baptist minister and a key leader in the American Civil Rights Movement. His tireless efforts to end racial segregation and discrimination through nonviolent protest and civil disobedience made him one of the most influential figures in American history. King rose to prominence in 1955 during the Montgomery bus boycott, a protest against racial segregation on the city's public transit system. His leadership of the boycott helped to bring national attention to the civil rights movement and established him as a leading voice for racial equality. Throughout the 1950s and 1960s, King continued to advocate for civil rights through nonviolent protest and direct action. He was instrumental in organizing the March on Washington for Jobs and Freedom in 1963, where he delivered his famous "I Have a Dream" speech, calling for an end to racism and for civil and economic rights for all Americans. In 1964, King was awarded the Nobel Peace Prize for his nonviolent resistance to racial prejudice in America. He continued to lead the civil rights movement until his assassination in 1968, but his legacy lived on. King's message of equality, justice, and nonviolence continues to inspire people around the world. His work laid the foundation for the Civil Rights Act of 1964 and the Voting Rights Act of 1965, which outlawed racial segregation and discrimination in the United States. His teachings on nonviolent resistance have influenced countless movements for social change around the world, earning him a place as one of the greatest leaders in the fight for civil rights and social justice. 10. Mother Teresa, born Agnes Gonsha Boyakshu in 1910 in Skopje, now in North Macedonia, was a Catholic nun and missionary who dedicated her life to serving the poor and the sick. She founded the Missionaries of Charity in 1950, a religious congregation that focused on caring for the hungry, the naked, the homeless, the crippled, the blind, the lepers, and all those people who feel unwanted, unloved, uncared for throughout society, people that have become a burden to the society and are shunned by everyone. Mother Teresa's work in Kolkata, India, where she spent most of her life, was marked by her unwavering commitment to the poorest of the poor. She and her fellow sisters ministered to the sick and the dying, providing them with food, shelter, and medical care. They also established orphanages, schools, and hospices to care for those in need. Despite facing criticism and controversy, Mother Teresa remained steadfast in her mission, believing that serving the poor was a way to serve God. Her selfless dedication to the most marginalized members of society earned her numerous awards and accolades, including the Nobel Peace Prize in 1979. Mother Teresa's legacy extends far beyond Kolkata. The Missionaries of Charity now operates in over 130 countries, providing care and compassion to those in need around the world. Mother Teresa's life and work continue to inspire people of all faiths to serve others with love and compassion, reminding us of the importance of caring for the most vulnerable members of society. If you're inspired by the stories of these remarkable individuals and their impact on the world, consider how you can make a difference in your own community. Whether it's through acts of kindness, standing up for justice, or lending a helping hand to those in need, we can all follow in the footsteps of these great leaders and work towards a better, more compassionate world. Together, we can continue their legacy of service and make a positive impact on the lives of others. Don't forget to give it a thumb up, leave a comment sharing which of these great people resonated with you the most, and subscribe to our channel for more content that celebrates the achievements and legacy of remarkable individuals throughout history. Your support helps us continue to create meaningful and inspiring content. Thank you for